Well, I expect our players to give great effort. I expect our players to compete at a very high level. I think if they do those two things, then the wins will take care of themselves. So, I'm not going to put a number of what's expected or what would be a successful year. I just want our guys to go out and perform, and we got to get some guys healthy here. We're going to have to play as a team, and we're going to have to really perform well. But I like the group. They've worked awfully hard here. As I mentioned, we've gone through some nagging injuries that have slowed us a little bit, but I just want them to play hard. I want them to compete, and if they do those things, then some wins will take care of themselves.
Something that went on over the summer, has that made the job in your eyes a little more difficult than from the starting blocks here, trying to get off the ground?
Oh, the people have been great, and the people at the school have been great. We've gone through some roadblocks and some obstacles with some of the guys, but no, it hasn't taken away from the job. The guys that have been here are the guys I want to concern myself with, and they've been great. They've been fun to work with. For the most part, they've taken care of their responsibilities and done a good job. So I am disappointed that we don't have a couple of the guys returning, but I don't want to waste any time focusing on those guys. I want to talk about the guys we do have and the guys who have put in great effort to try to get themselves ready for a season.
One of those guys, Malcolm Armstead, I know he toyed with the idea of leaving and going elsewhere, ended up ultimately coming back. I mean, you've got to be happy to have him back.
Oh, I am. I'm glad that all the guys came back. The guys that did decide to return, I am thankful that they all came back. Malcolm went through a stretch there that, he had to decide whether he wanted to come back. I think ultimately it was the people, our fans, that got him to come back, realizing that this is a pretty good place to be, realizing academically he was doing well, his teammates liked him. I think all the players went through a period where they thought about leaving and whether they should be here. Malcolm's maybe went on a little longer than I liked, but he decided to come back, and he's worked hard, and I think he'll have a good year.
The Pac-10, though, in recent years has been one of those conferences where if you have a good point guard, an experienced veteran point guard, you can do pretty well in the conference.
Every conference is that way. It's a guards game. You have to have guards, and point guards like a quarterback, and an experienced point guard is a bonus. And Malcolm had a good year last year. You look at his steals, his numbers were good. 62 steals, good assist-to-turnover ratio, average double figures, shooting percentage was pretty good. So he did a lot of good things, and I think he could be a good leader for our team. He's been a little inconsistent, but hopefully that'll work itself out, and he'll be a little bit more consistent for us. And if he does, I think our team will be a lot more consistent.
Dana, your decision on the two newest additions, what led you to decide they were people that could help you or that you wanted?
Well, we wanted to try to get to 10, but no, I like Martine. He's got some size. He got here really late, and so it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for him. Not only the adjustment to Division I basketball, but the adjustment to a different country, a different way of doing things, terminology. But he's a bright young man, and it just shows you some of the differences in countries. I mean, he speaks German, English, and French. So he'll be able to pick up things a little quicker than some of our guys, and really a bright young man. But he's behind, and he'll have a ways to go to catch up. J.R. Strobridge has worked his tail off. He got here. He's waited for word from the NCAA. We finally received that today. But he's been great. He's worked hard on the basketball floor. He's worked hard off. He's really been a positive addition to our team, and so I'm really excited about both the guys. I was half joking when I said we wanted to get to 10. It was kind of important that we get 10 scholarship athletes. I think we've got some young men that can fill in as walk-ons, but it's awfully difficult for those guys to take major roles, and the way we want to play, pressing and running, having 10 guys on board is kind of important.
Your roster lists 2 walk-ons now, the 2 returning. You might have more.
Oh, we're going to have more. You know, we're going to have guys that we bring in to, you know, to scrimmage against. We're going through some paperwork. We've got to get them medically cleared. We've got to get them cleared through the NCAA. But we will have more guys to practice against, and some of them may work their way into some time. Heck, I was a walk-on. I walked on at a junior college. That's how bad a player I was, and so I've got a special place in my heart for walk-ons, and you know, if some guys earn some time, you know, we'll play them. So we've had some tryouts. We've had some guys that we're in the process of doing the paperwork, so we'll make some additions. But Nick Fern is definitely earned a solid look. He's worked his tail off and worked as hard as any of the players we have here. So early on, he'll get a good hard look because he's worked awfully hard.
What's it like for you to finally be able to get down to business? And now you're at this point. How's it?
Well, it's good. I'm one of those guys that I feel more comfortable in gym, not with you guys around me, but with the team and getting ready to go. So October 15th has always been a special date for me. This is my 31st year of being a college basketball coach, and you know, I get excited every year at this time, and so I'm really excited. I know our players have waited to get started, and it'll be a fun 4 weeks here getting ready for our opener 4 weeks from tomorrow.
What kind of ball club do you envision this being? I mean, in terms of X's and O's, what do you want to accomplish offensively and defensively?
Well, we're going to play an aggressive style. You know, we're going to play a lot of guys. You know, we'll have some guys who'll differentiate themselves and earn some more minutes. But for the most part, we got a lot of guys working hard, and if they can contribute in some way, we'll put them out there. But defensively, we'll do a lot of different things. We'll press. We'll play a lot of man. We'll play some zone. We'll do a lot of trapping. Offensively, we'll push the ball. If we don't get the shot we want, we'll be a little bit more patient on the half court. But we won't change much of our style. I think our guys fit pretty good into the style that I've been accustomed to running. Coach McKenna, Coach Fish have been with me, so they feel pretty comfortable with it. Our guys, as I mentioned, fit our style, so I think the fans will enjoy it. We'll get up and down the court, and like I said, we'll change things up quite a bit on the defensive end. Offensively, we'll push it. We'll probably take too many threes, but we'll fire it up there and let it go.
How important to get Javon back?
Oh, it's really important. You know, we got to get him healthy. He hurt his hamstring here a couple weeks ago, and so he's missed the last couple weeks again. But Javon's got tremendous experience. You know, he's played on some really good teams. He's really skilled. He's got a big body. He's got a great personality. We need Javon desperately. You know, we need him to get healthy. He is, I don't know, an injury waiting to happen. I don't know. Since I've been here, he's had more days off than I have. So, you know, I'd like to get him going. But he's a really nice young man. All the guys on the team respect him. They like him. I think he's just a natural leader. And so we desperately need him to get healthy and get out here.
Is this a team that you won't necessarily have that go-to guy, but more of a team anybody can do?
Well, you know, I'm sure there'll be a couple guys who separate themselves. You know, some experienced guys like Malcolm, like JJ, like Javon, you know, who have a little more experience that we will rely on a little bit more down the stretch. But hey, the job's open. You know, whoever earns it, you know, those things are earned. You know, your teammates, they don't mind a guy taking the last shot if they know he's worked harder than them or that he's worked just as hard as anybody else. You know, guys, they know who's working, they know who's put in the time, and I think that gives that person confidence to take that last shot, to be a go-to guy, and the team knows that if he's putting in the time, he's earned that right. So it'll be interesting to see here in the next 4 weeks, you know, who separates himself and who puts in that time and who sets themselves apart to get the opportunity to take those shots and to be the go-to guy.